Let's talk about perspectives, because I mentioned this earlier and how they do impact our coaching relationship. And whatever situation we find ourselves in, any situation, we have some type of perspective about that person or that situation. Where do you think our perspectives come from? Where do they come from? Yeah, life experience. What else? Philosophy, my values, genetics, birth order, the culture we grew up in, our mindset, the way that we think, right? Our value system, our behaviors, our core beliefs. All of these things shape our perspectives of any situation. So if I grew up, let's just say an example. Did any of you grow up in a city? Okay. So when you first moved to Boulder, even though it is a little bit of a city, did you have some perspectives, I guess, that maybe you brought with you that you learned to change over time? Because Boulder is probably a different place, right? It's not like the city you grew up in. So what would be some perspectives you brought with you from living in a city to a more of a smaller community? Right. So the key of doing this simple exercise is like, okay, here's where we were, here's where we are now. Conrad, how successful and effective in building relationships do you think you would have been if you brought that perspective here and kept it where you never looked anybody in the eye, right? When you're walking around, it's just not like that, right? Here. So it's different. You're in a different place. It's a different situation. It's a different environment. And if you reshift or reshape your perspective, you might be more successful, right? It's no different with people. So we may have this perception about someone maybe because of the way they look. So great example, I worked for a hospital, and one of the guys who came to the customer service class had a lot of tattoos, and he was a nursing assistant. And he said, I'm proud of my tattoos. They all had meaning to him, but he worked with a lot of elderly patients. And he told me the perspective they had the first time there wasn't a rule that he had to cover him up. So the first time he walked in to help this elderly lady, she freaked out. She was like crying, and she was afraid he was going to hurt her. She didn't know he was a nursing assistant. She was afraid. So he was like, that is a perspective that unfortunately isn't true, because he was a kind, gentle soul. But he basically said, while I'm here, I want everybody to feel comfortable. So he covered him up. But it's important to notice that we have perspectives about people, places, situations, and questioning, are these okay? Are they working for us? Are they going to help us in this environment be as effective as we could be? So that's what really helps you become a good coach, is really questioning, how am I going into this? What am I thinking about this person? What am I thinking about this situation? And is that perspective changing how I might coach them in a good way or bad way?